Like what you checking?
We back with another episode of What You Jackin podcast. I'm your host, Charlie the Sav. We got special guests in the building today. Lady Red, welcome back.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Splashy, she's here.
So we here.
Who we here with?
We're here with Splashy. We're bringing the owner of the brand, Splashy Life Apparel.
Okay.
In New York City, you know. Yes, sir.
Happens to be my stylist, you heard?
You know that.
Gangster.
Yes, sir, ski.
She give me drippy, you know that. We got the Splashy. Come on now.
You see the drip right here.
Yeah, we had to do that fashion talk.
Yeah, we got shorts, we got tees for the summer, some socks. We got that kind of stuff.
She got it all. You heard her.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. She got me lit this summer. I got a lot of flicks in her drip this summer. I'm not gonna lie. For me,
the Hoochie Daddy shorts.
The Hoochie Daddy shorts. I got it on right now. That's how true it is. Come on,
Hoochie Daddy shorts is here.
Come on now. You
I might be running off with these
got
today.
The socks black. Got the socks blocking the Henny. Come on now. No free ass.
Jacking this. Hold on. Let me see these real quick.
This nigga just unblocked the Henny.
Nah. I ain't gonna lie. I need to see that. I need to see these real quick because I need some new socks and shit.
Nah, I'm just super comfortable, bro.
I might need. Word, he got him on the feet already. Oh, he got him on the feet already.
Come on now.
I'm gonna need a couple of them. How many colors you got?
Super cozy, gang.
Say you don't know.
Talk to us.
What we doing?
Where you from? How you get into this? For me, fashion talk for me, cause you know the fashion niggas have. You gotta do that fashion talk.
I got you. So I started off. I'm from Queens, New York.
Okay,
I started off in about 2016. So I've been doing this for about like 7 years now, for sure. You know, it's a slow grind. You gonna work 10 years, live an overnight success. You know. And so I started because I used to spend all my money in clothes. Used to be broke, you know. As long as you flee though, that's what used to matter back then. You know?
Yeah, facts.
Before designer came into the picture, you know. So that's when I started because I realized like, all right, I'm going broke because of that. So my pops was like, why you don't do a clothing line? And back then people wasn't really doing clothing lines like that for real. So I started it. I didn't even know where to start, but I was like, let me just go to like a local t-shirt printing place, and I got a few shirts done. And it's been up since then. So I put in 50 T's, and now we growing it to 6 figures. So now we doing our thing. We trying to get it to 7, you know, and just start working on unity and collabing with other artists for sure.
Word.
No shout out to you guys for putting us on here. This is our first real podcast.
Shout out to you. No cap.
Let's do it.
Gotta do the class.
We about to go up fast.
No cap.
About to go up. Shit, we gonna.
Nah, I'm doing sponsors early, gang. I'm doing sponsors early, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hyped to be here, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hyped to be here. Shout out Splashy, keeping us splashy. Gangster. Shout out Authentic, keeping us authentic. Gangster. Shout out Ubuntu Revolution, for me. You be you. Come on, you be you, cause I'ma be me. Shout out No Choice, cause we got no choice, nigga. We got no choice.
Shout out to Who Made from Brooklyn. You heard?
Talk it. Come on. Come on. Shout out. We sticking together. For me.
It's the only way.
Maybe they hating on the Jews, but they moving structure. They moving structure. I'm trying to get like them. Shit, man.
We all stick together. We gonna be Gucci.
You know, we showing it right now.
That's what I'm saying.
All these different brands is coming together, and I feel like that's the way to get out this. You know, I think we can. I think it's too hard to do it by yourself, but I think if we all partner together, bust the door open and leave it open. You know what I mean? Because then everybody after.
Strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers.
And that's why I wanted. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a real deal dot connector, and I wanted y'all two on this shit together because, bro, feel me? Marketing, black owned business. For sure. We gonna connect them dots.
Yes,
we gonna get that shit going. Come on now.
Especially New York. I feel like a lot of places, the more I research more places, they got a lot of unity. You know, so I feel like New York right now, we're doing it, but I feel like we're just gonna continue to.
It's very clicky.
Together. Yeah, once we get it together though, it's gonna be up, and they know that, so that's why I try.
And they scared.
Yeah, you know, once we get it, it's over. You know,
it's scary.
I think the whole fashion game, music, everything. I think everything changes the minute that we realize we could do this together.
It's hand in hand.
That's a fact.
It's hand in hand.
Now, music and fashion always go together. All the time.
I think even acting, TV, anything visual, artists,
like
any entertainment, creative, everything. And if we realize how we could help each other,
and it's always a way.
For sure.
Always a way.
You just gotta connect them dots. That's it.
Even for like artists, like just sending them out some clothes and being with them on the grind, on the come up, you know, like that's how all of that starts out. Like, and if a lot of artists, like in the beginning that I try to send my clothes out to, blew up. So it's so beautiful to see how like, like you just wait your turn, you know, because when it's yours, it's yours.
I got a question about that, right? Because I know some people that's getting started up in the clothing line industry. So when you were sending your clothes out to, you know, these artists, were you scared, like, you know, I'm giving away, you know, what I got, you know, and I don't know if they're going to really wear it or not. Yeah. I could be selling it, but I'm giving it away. Like, how was your head at that time?
I like to call those like Hail Marys. So I call those like it's still promo, but it's like one of those things that all it takes is for one to hit.
Right.
And they hit the right way at the right time. So that's
touchdown.
You only gotta be right one time.
Exactly. I missed a few opportunities in the beginning that I could have sent it out to like a few people that ended up blowing up because I didn't really know back then. But now I'm like a scout. Like just if I'm working on right now, we got Charlotte pop up coming up.
Yeah,
Shout out to
that.
April 30th.
Word.
Check
Everybody
that
pop out.
April 30th,
Pop
facts.
out.
And I'm trying to partner in with the city and see what they got going on and be able to collab those because of those, including anybody who's starting up, being able to collab with those, collab with people who's higher than us, everything. It's just marketing it all together. So that's what I say for sure.
Networking is networking.
Networking.
You have to.
And that would take the fear off of putting yourself out there and giving yourself to like the rappers and things like that. Because I think, and a lot of times they'll reach out to you. Like, so like Davey seen one of the clothes and he reached out. He was the first New York rapper to have like Splashy in a video.
Oh, that's
so
dope.
shout out to him too for sure.
Claps for that.
For sure.
I didn't even know that.
And that's how New York could partner with New York. And you see, so he don't even know like that like helped out so much,
Right.
So,
it's always that one act that really get it bumping. That's what I'm saying.
You only got to be right one time.
Yeah, the NBA players too. Like shout out to them. They've been tapping into a lot of the black-owned businesses
That's
too.
dope.
Jose Alvarado was actually the first player that actually bought clothes.
Hey.
Shout out to New York.
Shout out to New York.
Shout out to New York.
We really doing it.
Shout out Grant that photo. You heard?
Yeah,
I fuck again. No
those things
cap.
that we need. That's one little move you having me on this podcast. That one person that sees it. I think
That's a fact.
That's why we got a network.
We locked in. You know we locked in, gang. Come on now.
Question though, what gives you your inspiration when it comes to designing and all that?
That's a good question. I've never been asked that. So like, it started off with just liking clothes, and then like in it, I found out that like, okay, you can make a lot of money here. So now it's about how can I take that money and then give it to community, right?
Word.
Because now that's what inspires me. Because now I realize like, hold on, it was mad hard for me. Like it was like if I would have had me back then, I would have been on a lot quicker. So I feel like that's what inspires me now is to be able to put my family on,
that's real shit.
On,
that's
like,
some real shit I ever heard.
It's
That's
really
some New
what
York
drives
shit.
the whole thing for sure. And I feel like that's why now I'm trying to like figure out, okay, if we're gonna do certain things in certain cities, right, we're gonna give back. So when we go out to Charlotte, I'm actually gonna tap into a historical black neighborhood called Oberlin Village. And we're gonna come in there, see what's up, like, and show the people the same way you guys are showcasing talent on me. I'm gonna showcase talent on them and say that that's a community that right now they were trying to tear down. So it's about somebody from New York caring about that to even go down there. Like, so that's community, real.
Right.
Like,
Nice.
So I'm going there for a pop up for real, but it really is just to go to a barbecue. That I gotta make it make sense, have work included in it. But that's really what inspires me for real is to be able to move my family, like change their situation and things like that. Because like I say, clothing, it makes a lot of money. So if you're into fashion, like start a business. You don't gotta have all your stuff together. You don't gotta have LOCs together. Like forget all that. Just do it. Like put it out there. Sometimes we hold ourselves back to be like, oh, we gotta have this and we gotta have this. But
We'll help you with the LLCs and all that.
We'll get you
Just
right.
do it.
But the first thing is do it though,
Just
because
do it.
how you even know you like it? So you just spend
Exactly.
$250 on something that you don't even know if you like. Like test it out, see if your friends. Everybody's
See
so
if it
caught up.
makes
Like what if they
sense.
steal it? Man, put out the clothes. You know what I mean? And, like go in the order of which.
I'm jacking her bob. Word.
Because if you got $250 for an LLC, that take away the $250 from the first drop. So now you holding out because now I got an LLC, but don't nobody even know you. So who's really gonna steal you? You know what I mean? Like so, it's
That's
that
real.
thinking that we gotta kind of get rid
talk.
of.
Nah, word.
I
fucks with that concept.
But when you become official and it's time to get them LLCs, it's time to get that copyrights and all that.
Then that's next level. Then
Exactly.
Then
Now
you
we putting it together. Now we putting something together that's really
For
gonna
sure.
blow up and go crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's what I would tell them. If you want to start out with a business, you start off with that, with an idea. Say you
I
like something.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, if it inspires you, if it makes sense. Sometimes like a lot of people right now they've been liking the graphic tees, right? So I'm not a huge fan as Britney, but as a brand, you kind of see what like the people want. It's like so if I'm gonna do that though, I'm gonna do it in my own way. So all the people that we do is all like historical figures. So it's like and it makes sense. Like they're all people that care about their community, that do things for their community. Like we're not just putting anybody on the t-shirt, because you gotta be careful what you represent too. You know
No
what I mean?
cap.
So,
That's a fact.
And I always, niggas always get on me for that. They'd be like, yo, I had a fucking shirt with like, I was in Cali, I had a shirt with a Lee on it. And they like, yo, but why you got a Lee in your on your? Why you got a
remember that
shirt?
shit.
Bro, I only wear goats and bad bitches on my shirts, bro.
You heard him.
That's good energy.
You heard him.
Women
I'm
get that
jacking
beautiful
that.
energy. So
Bro.
you feel me? If you was feeling that, on
I only
that
wear
day,
goats
you gotta do
and
what you
bad
gotta do.
bitches on my shirts, bro.
That Aaliyah shit was hard too.
That
I ain't
Aaliyah shit
gonna
was,
front.
come on now, y'all saw
shit
the
was
flick.
hard.
And
But
it's
boom.
good energy.
Brit always got a fucking baddie on her shirt. She had she got the goats too. She had for me. She had Shaq with some grills, the Cartiers. I'm like, nah, that's going.
But Shaq gives so much back to Jersey, and Shaq do mad stuff. Like that's really what I be trying to put it around.
Giving back,
like the energy that you keep yourself around. So if you're around and good goat energy, you're gonna become.
Had the nice fire Lil Kim shirt on.
With
the hoochie daddy. Had the Lil Kim shirt on with the hoochie daddy shirt. Yo, I was outside.
I can tell you right now, I'm going to shop with Brit.
Nah, word.
Splashy life of power for sure.
Splashy life.
Anything we do, if you give, we give back. So it's like it's a give and take, and that's my thing. It's like not only shouting out my brands, but there's so many brands in New York City like that you could tap into right now. Who made shout out Hood Holidays by Mikey Phelps. Shout out Differently Uptown. What's some more? Like it's just so much right now. Like it's like popping in the city that you can really tap into it. It's not just about me. You know what I mean? So I want you to shop with Splashy, but now that I was sitting here watching y'all, I'm like, oh yeah, I need that. I need that. Like, 'cause if it's like, and if you fly, you make the clothes fly.
Word, yeah, it's not about like expensive shit, not about all that designer shit. If that shit is fly, it's fly.
Yeah.
Word, just
it's not about what you wear, it's how you wear it.
Exactly.
It's not
how do you put it together?
And I think like that's something I try to keep with the brand, like on the back of the socks to say it's not on you, it's in you. Which is kind of funny because I'm selling you
y'all
clothes.
need a pair. Y'all need all them colors.
I ain't going front. I'm taking them socks. I'm gonna let you know right now.
And we're gonna give. I seen the giveaway. We gotta do one of those too.
Let's do it. No more.
Both the podcast.
Let's collab.
Some shorts for sure.
What's the collaboration?
So we actually trying to do 100 collabs too this year. It's crazy. I know it sound kind of crazy. Hear me out, but I feel like that's one.
Yeah.
So we get, and this is two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the key. And anybody out there who has a black-owned business, whether it be marketing, whether it be a musician or anything to do with collaboration, reach out to Special Apparel. You know, and hit us through the email. We definitely trying 100 collabs this year for sure. Trying to jump up this year and just move on to bigger and better things, and just do a bunch of pop-ups in different locations this year, and host different black-owned businesses at the pop-up. So like we went from doing like the sneaker cons and things like that, but I learned enough to be like, all right, we could do the same thing. Just rent the space, get the people, get the stuff, and boom, it's just like that. So now we got
three. You just got to do it.
Exactly.
Let me know what help you need.
For sure, you know that.
Come on now.
And just give me a platform like this to be able to share that, you know. Once again, Charlotte, North Carolina, April 30th. You know,
let's do it.
It's the first one out of state, you know, so we definitely go.
And see, you better be ready. She's coming through
with that drip.
With
that drip. Now my mom's staying in Charlotte. I might have to for me.
We might have to be down there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, the board definitely
different neighborhoods and stuff. Yeah, ask her if she know about like Cherry neighborhood. It's another historical black neighborhood out of Charlotte that like we got to care about. You know what I mean? Because if they keep finishing and diminishing our things but building their stuff, we gotta care. So somebody from New York has to care about a Cherry Tree neighborhood, you know, or a Cherry neighborhood and an Oberlin Village and things like that. And there's so much more in terms of like the more. Shout out to marketing. I wanted to ask you actually, like, so this is something that I've been implementing in my business as far as like reaching out to figure out my analytics. So it's about figuring out like who's rocking with me, because I feel like that's important because everybody dresses so differently. So I did this thing where I went out to Atlanta Streetwear Market. Shout out the biggest black owned right now market right now for clothing. And I went out there, but like I did a shirt and it was like so New York. But they just so different. So I was sitting there like they was buying the stuff that I wouldn't have thought they was gonna buy because they're into a whole different vibe. So I was gonna ask you, how do you when it comes to marketing with your team, do you mention to them like the different locations and cities and about gaining the control of that city?
I do.
That's what I'm on right now.
But I feel like what you did was kind of part of what you should have done, because you brought your stuff from New York to them to see if they would like it or not. You got their response. So now you know how to move accordingly to what their style really is. For sure. So I feel like that was definitely a test right there. And I would keep doing that. So now you know their style. Now you can go back in the shop, work it up, take it back to them. They're going to love that shit because now you know.
And that's the thing, though, is that I always thought in the beginning that if you're from New York, like a lot, or whatever brand you put out, right, it's about what you want and you want. But, like, I've been to a place now where like Britney's Britney and Splash is its own entity. So I run it, but it's like I want Splashy to rep its own things. There's certain things that Britney does on her off time that we don't do with Splashy. You know what I mean? Or like vice versa. You know what I mean? So it's like I like to keep it separate. So I've been wondering, like, is it a thing of like figuring out, do you keep that New York and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna judge that in their head, or do you try to expand on like some Nike level and be like, I'm gonna give a little bit to everybody,
like
and
you
like
said,
you get past just being a New York brand. So that's kind of what I'm on, and I would love to like interact with anybody in the comments. If you have a brand, or if you're a musician, or if you're anything, let us know how you're handling like when it comes to state by state. Like, how are you doing it, right? Because I feel like if you're a rapper, my thing is like, if you're a rapper and you know like a bunch of people from Baltimore listen to you, drop a Baltimore bar in that joint, they go crazy, and everybody else won't even pay attention to it. It just go in the bar. smart. But for them, it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
And then say you wear the
just shout
clothes
out
to
us?
match it on that. Yeah, and then people love to rep where they from. It means
Exactly.
something.
It does.
So if you start manufacturing your stuff around that, or your raps or whatever you're doing,
No cap.
that's that marketing. So I'm just sharing with you. Like, we got a partner with that. 'Cause I'm telling you that I've been trying to learn marketing. And
I got you for real. Like, you already there type shit, but definitely.
Exactly.
I got a couple of mentors I gotta introduce you to, and I'm not gonna lie, it look like you might be one of my mentors too.
Word.
'Cause You got your
talking.
She got her foot in the
no funny
door.
shit,
Bro.
If you guys ain't pick up on anything that she just said, you better run this shit back.
No
Word.
cap.
Simple as that.
Right
She's
back,
talking.
pause,
Definitely
repeat.
comment any questions too, and we'll definitely both of us come in the comments and
Word.
help out. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what it's about. It's about sharing the information so that you don't gotta study it.
Each
Word.
one
Like, I'd rather
teach one.
take all of the
Each
boring
one
info to
teach
kind of
one.
give it to you and be like, yeah, but it makes sense. And
That
bet.
word.
And like,
Each
right?
one
I wish we
teach
had
one.
that, right? But we had to teach
Exactly.
ourselves. So you want to kind of be that mentor for everybody.
Word.
Word, I love that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm in school now, and I still feel like I'm teaching myself more than what I'm learning, and I waste of money.
I'm not gonna lie. I went to school for business, and when I was in it, it was lit because it was everything that I was working on.
Right.
But then
Word.
there's some, college be on some, but like
Nah,
there's something that was for me. But every day I'm learning like I'm in college. So I will
Word.
say that if you're in school, it's dope. Like I hear people
That's
try
a
to
fact.
downplay school.
Yeah,
School
don't
still
do that.
lit. Like,
Facts.
school,
It's
like,
definitely how you
Good to
move
be
in
in
school.
it
It's
gotta make
how
it make
you
sense
move.
for you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people to net. Yo, I got a lot of people that I do business with
school.
that I met in school.
Nah,
Gangsta.
word. That's why I'm
even if you
still
got
there.
brands, music, anything like that's like a hub of
Yeah,
like free
but
promo.
some people
Networking.
don't
for
understand that. Like I go to Five Towns College. Shout out. Shout out. Nah, chill.
She trying to play.
Not work.
Word.
They are talented at Five Towns. Like it's a
Exactly.
whole, like it's a small place, but it's great because it's a good way to network. Like you can see them
Now you
face
gotta
to
tap
face.
in.
Like you always see somebody that's in.
They got a market for your
That's
drip
what I'm
over
saying.
there.
You got
telling
to
you,
tap
they
in,
got
'cause
everything
that's
over
the
there.
next thing is the colleges. So that's why this guy in Charlotte, North Carolina, he was putting me on about that, and he was just like, "Yo, like the colleges over there, the fashion shows over there, like that's really the scene because they're the future." You know? So I
Definitely.
think for sure, all the culture kind of come from there. I think, for
Exactly.
sure.
And if you really trying to get black owned HBCUs, I'm telling you.
It's the way to go.
What's up? We could do a college tour because we got the
Yeah.
platform.
Yo,
here.
I'm so
Yo, this is what
down.
I'm saying. Bringing
Let's
this
do
and
that.
We
doing
definitely
that.
gotta add
We
it to
might
the
have
board.
another.
She's talking it. She's talking it.
We might have another board member. She
Listen,
don't even
listen.
know. It's going over her head, but she might be in tune with the
she
money
might.
team.
Hold
Gangsta.
Not even Mike.
That's your board?
Not even.
Hold on. I see
Listen,
David
listen.
4 and 3.
I'll tell you right now.
We gonna talk.
My vote is in for that one.
Say less.
word.
We gonna get
My
her
vote is
approved because I already approved. Gangsta.
Gangster.
No
Shop,
cap.
definitely let me
We
know.
gonna chop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the mindset, I see the mentality. I like what you're doing. Now I
appreciate
gotta
that.
ask you, what's your 5-year plan? Where you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Ooh,
No pressure. Talk to us.
5-year plan. 5-year plan. We doing, and it's not. Hold on, because before you see how the first thing I'm about to go to is money. It's not about money. I think money is just it's the result of where you're at.
Money's a
right. So I be
tool.
trying to say like I think even followers like it doesn't mean anything, but it just dictates where you're at because like when you get to a certain number, you get to do different things. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I would say that I want Splashy to be thriving in community-based efforts, and I want like us to go from where we do now of like small donations of less than 1,000. I want to be doing that triple times by that point. And like,
I love that.
YouTubing it and documenting that whole journey.
You gotta
Put me
get
on
the
this. We
vlogs.
gonna watch this back.
page.
Yeah,
Listen,
but
listen.
that's what
if
I want
you
to
want
do.
us to come through and do the vlogs, we
You
doing
have a
that.
team
for
behind you.
Anything.
We
like,
doing the vlogs.
And
I
that's what
wanna
I'm.
do
I told
charity
you that's
too.
what I'm working on right now. Is just going to the different cities. So right now, Charlotte is first. The next is gonna be New York City. So I have my shirts are gonna be dropping in a store in the Lower East Side. So I'll plug in that information too. And after that, we're gonna go to the DMV, which is gonna be Maryland and Virginia. Which Richmond. So Richmond actually has an area called Jackson Ward, which is their hysterically black neighborhood. And Richmond, shout out to y'all because like their network skills.
Top tier.
Top tier. When I was Googling, all you had to do was go to like 2 pages and the list of every artist in the whole city is on that page.
No.
So shout out to Here RVA. Like that's what helped me get all of that. Like I got tapped into a bunch of the artists in that city. I'm gonna put you onto a few of those too. Like, and that's what I'm trying to do with these trips is that it's not just about the pop-up. Like I'm going to the pop-up, but then I'm about to I gotta share this with y'all. So there's this. My ultimate goal is to be
She
able to
was
buy.
about to tuck. She was about to tuck that.
My ultimate goal is to buy land. I feel like land is the number one.
Yo, I
thing.
need a
feel
clap
like
for that.
Talking
'Cause,
it.
yo,
Where the class at? 'Cause I'm about to clap for that too.
Walt
I
Disney
love
did
that.
with land though. For
Word.
real. Like, and his families, like they're all eating for generations
said
off of
who
that
did
one.
it?
Walt Disney with land. Just
She
his
just dropped
his
Walt
concept.
Disney.
Yeah, but look what that
Okay.
like look at this. Like that's just
She's
land.
talking.
You know what I mean? And he
Yeah.
owns that land. So I feel like
Exactly.
that's where I ultimately want to be at, where we can buy a property property and be able to eventually pass it down to a bunch of the renters that are in these places. So there's a bunch of different organizations, and my mind is gonna get me, but it's UHB. So I don't gotta know how United Housing, UHB. All you gotta do is look it up. 'Cause right now my mind is getting me. But UHB, we donate to them, and they actually are an organization that helps rent owners buy up their building. So it's the coolest thing in the world. All you need is the resources. All you need is the lawyers. All you need is the help and time. And you literally can be a landowner, like a homeowner. And that will pass down to you generationally. So like I think that, so there's this woman in Richmond, in Jacksonwood area who does that professionally and was an immigrant from Africa. So she just hit us back to say she's going to let us interview her. So I definitely, once I get that, I got to pass it. Cause that's like living legend shit. I have to say it. Like that's like if like Martin, like that's how I view it. That's like an idol to me. Not an idol, but like a person that I want to be like for sure. A mentor, a motivator, you know. Yeah. Definitely not idol, but yeah, for sure. But just all that to say, but it's just so much cool stuff out here, you know, to be able to tap in history. That clothes, you know, it's just a small part of it, I feel like.
Word.
Yeah, I love that.
But you know what it is? With clothes, it's like music. It's art that symbolizes what that is. Mm-hmm. You see
or
what
a moment in time, or how you feel in that moment. You could think when I had that hat on, that like what kind of day that was. Like, oh, that was that time. Like, you know, when your sneakers got messed up, or like, you know, clothing kind of is our identity. When I come in, you kind of can already feel who I am by how I look, you know? And I think like if we pay attention to that and realize that so much people can show their individuality through clothes.
That's how they express themselves.
Remember how y'all was saying how a lot of things are the same? It's because that's what people think they want. But if you just be yourself, everybody love you if you just be yourself. You know, I think when you try when you try to be something that you're not, it don't really work for you. So I think
authentic.
It takes a little while though, you know.
Be authentic.
Come on,
yes,
but you see when you wear that kind of energy,
exactly, you
that
feel
it. It becomes who you are.
Shit, I'm about to have that splashy energy on me. For sure.
Yo,
authentic.
Shout out to my fucking stylist, you heard?
Yeah,
the big dripper.
Shout out to
She's the big dripper herself. For me, Miss Splashy Life. For me, tapping. Go get her fucking merch.
Go get her fucking. Yo, we gonna put that. We gonna make sure we have the website for you. We're gonna make sure we have the Instagram for you. We're gonna make sure you can connect with her because she's talking it. And you need that drip.
You need it, bro. You need to see this journey that she about to go on, because she's about to do revolutionary shit.
And we bringing everybody with us.
Yes, we keeping it in the family. We keeping it in the community. We gonna build bridges where they trying to burn them.
You know that.
Come on now. Shout out to them. Come on now. Claps for everybody, bro.
Claps for her for sure, man. No problem. She's splashy and authentic, bro. I love what's going on.
No, you doing your thing, bro. Keep doing it.
For real.
No, for sure. I kept looking, but you know,
keep elevating. Word, you got that mindset. Just keep going with it. Consistency, like we just said.
And partnering with people like this. When you partner with people that got that light, you just shine brighter.
Exactly. She's talking. And
just know you got my support. You got our support. Let's rock.
Facts. We rocking with you.
What you jacking?
Yeah, baby. Shout out Splashy. Shout out No Restrictions. Lady Red, she's here. They here. This is it. 16 shit. Thank you for another episode. We tuned in. We locked in, baby.
Yeah.